Vasudevaya. Once upon a time, a very interesting event happened when God himself was placed on a weighing scale and was weighed with multiple different ornaments. At the end of the day, there was only one item that managed to match his weight and bring down the weighing scale. Let's find out about what this incident is, why it happened, and what was the lesson that was supposed to be taught by this. Let's dive in. Once upon a time, Devarshi Narad came to visit Shri Krishna, the king of Dwaraka and one of the incarnations of Mahavishnu. He came, and in his hand he had a very unique flower. The flower's beauty was indescribable in words. It looked so beautiful that anybody could become enchanted by looking at it. Devarshi Narad brought this flower and he gave it to Shri Krishna. He bowed. I went to heaven, and Devraj Indra, he gave me this flower. I immediately thought, there is only one person that I know that I could give this to, and that was you. There is nobody in this world who is more beautiful than you, and I thought that it would be best to give this flower to you. Now you decide what to do with it. And Shri Krishna, at the time, who was in Goddess Rukmini's palace, immediately turned to look at her, and he kept the flower in her hair, stating, you look so much more beautiful. In fact, the flower looks more beautiful now that it's adorning your hair. Goddess Rukmini smiled. Thank you. This incident, while being sweet for anybody else to listen to, definitely created some issues. Namely, Goddess Satyabhama, one of Krishna's other wives who loved him very much, but was also unbelievably jealous of the love Goddess Rukmini received. What made this even more painful for her was that Devarshi Narad had mentioned, whomever has this flower will have the full love of their husband. Goddess Rukmini already possessed this, but she still got the flower. And Goddess Satyabhama, well, not only did she want to show that she had her husband's full love, she wanted to overdo what Goddess Rukmini had. If Goddess Rukmini had the flower, she wanted the entire celestial tree. And so, one day, when Shri Krishna came to her palace, he found her visibly upset. Very upset. Enough that when he tried to talk to her, she wouldn't so much as look at him. Finally, after a lot of attempts from his part, Goddess Satyabhama looked at him. I want the Parijata tree. Shri Krishna, well, he wasn't shocked. He had definitely expected this. And really, he had planned an entire game to deal with this. He just smiled. Okay, but the tree is heaven's property, not earth's. The Parijata tree belongs in the heaven. It cannot be brought to earth. That will break every single norm, every single societal universal norm. It will break it. But Goddess Satyabhama was adamant. If the Parijata tree belongs to heaven, then so does the flower of the Parijata tree. Shri Krishna smiled. Of course, the flower as well. And I understood what you want. Do you have a particular reason for wanting to bring the tree? Goddess Satyabhama smiled. Devarshi Narad had visited her a while ago and had told her some important information. Now she could use that to her advantage. She smiled. There is a ritual that I want to perform. Devarshi Narad told me that whomever performs this ritual will receive the full love of their husband. Shri Krishna smiled softly. Is that so? I never knew. Goddess Satyabhama chuckled. That is true. He told me. The thing is, this ritual can only be performed under the shade of the Parijata tree. I know you love me the most out of all your wives. So please, bring the tree to me. Shri Krishna thought for a second, but then smiled. After all, in front of his wife, even God couldn't say no. He had to agree. And so, immediately, he took off to heaven. He had to get the tree to earth after all, and he really didn't have a choice. So he went to Devraj Indra, who greeted him very respectfully. And everything went well until Krishna asked what he had come there for. Devraj, I want the Parijata tree. I want to bring it down to earth for Satyabhama. Devraj, he didn't even hesitate. He didn't even think for a second. He didn't have to. You know that's not possible. That will break every single universal norm. That is not possible. This tree belongs to us. This tree belongs to heaven, not to earth. I cannot let you take it there. Shri Krishna almost laughed. Almost. Let me? What do you mean? You are giving me the tree, and either I'm taking the tree with me peacefully, or I will fight you, but either way, I will take down the tree. Because I need to bring the tree. My wife asked for it. I cannot say no. And because I cannot say no to her, you cannot say no to me. So please, give me the tree. I don't want to fight you. Devraj was similarly adamant. I cannot give you the tree. The tree does not belong on earth. Please try to understand. Krishna smiled. He knew he was the creator of every rule in this universe. What rule existed that he didn't know about? Yet, he didn't agree this time. Devraj Indra was right. Completely right. The tree did not belong in heaven. But he needed it to come to earth. Not for Satyabhama, but to break Satyabhama's arrogance. He looked at Devraj Indra. You leave me no choice, do you? Weapons were drawn, and a huge battle ensued. Devraj Indra fired weapon after weapon after weapon at Krishna. Krishna? He didn't even have to do anything. None of the weapons even reached him. And finally, Devraj Indra hurled an unfailable weapon, his famed Vajrayudha. The weapon that had once killed many demons was now thrown to attack the Lord of the universe. Krishna looked at the weapon. He could vanish. He could make it vanish in just a second. He could break it into pieces if he so wished. He didn't even need to do anything. Just a single thought would be enough. And the Lord of the world lifted his disc. This was too much. Game or not, the Vajrayudha being hurled at him had definitely made him come to one realization. This war would be inconclusive as long as he just played defense. If this war needed to end, and it needed to end now, Devraj Indra needed to be killed. So, without caring for the Vajrayudha, he lifted his discus just a second before he would throw the Sudarshan Chakra at Devraj Indra, killing Devraj Indra. Somebody showed up there, blocking his path. None other than Devmata Aditi. Devraj Indra, he got out of his chariot immediately and vowed this was his mother after all, and he wouldn't hold a weapon when she was there. Shri Krishna, he wouldn't hold a weapon either when Devmata Aditi was there, and he got out of his chariot immediately. He bowed to her. It is my pleasure to see you here. Devmata Aditi's smile was a little pained. She looked towards Indra after addressing Krishna and greeting him. Well, he is asking for the Parijata tree. He is the Lord of the universe. Do you think there is any rule that you are aware of that he doesn't know? Do you think there is any rule that you know that he himself hasn't created, that he himself hasn't put into place? And if he knows everything, and he is still telling you to give him the tree, if he is willing to fight you, to kill you over getting this tree, then maybe the rightful place of this tree is in heaven. Maybe earth deserves this tree more than heaven does. She looked at her son. Give him the tree. That is my order. Devraj Indra, he bowed. He may have said no to Shri Krishna, but he would never dream of saying no to his mother. He nodded. As you wish. He looked to Shri Krishna. I apologize. I should have given the tree before, when you told me to. I apologize for making you have to fight me. I apologize for everything that has taken place. The tree is yours, after all. So is heaven. Everything belongs to you in this universe. You came to ask me. You shouldn't have needed to come and ask. Honestly, if you hadn't told me, I would have been obliged to give you the tree. It's not mine. I was wrong when saying it was heaven's property, because what belongs to me at the end of the day? Everything belongs to you after all. Please take it. Please take it, because it will increase my honor that you came here to take something from me. Please, take it and go. Shri Krishna couldn't help but smile at the sudden change. He bowed once again to Devamata Aditi, but then looked at Devrajendra. No, you were right. You were right to say that the Parijata tree, the celestial tree that was obtained when churning the sea of milk, it does not belong on earth. Not permanently anyway. I have a use for the tree. And as soon as my purpose is done, you can come and take back the tree. Because the tree, its rightful place is heaven. The Parijata tree does not belong in the mortal realm. And so you come and take it back. Devrajendra looked at him. When can I take it back? Shri Krishna thought for a second and then smiled. Well, what if Satyabhama wants to use the tree to perform a ritual? Let's see how that goes. At the end of the ritual, she will have no reason for it. So from her point of view, I will have no reason to keep the tree there. Then, once the ritual is over, come back and take the tree back to where it rightfully belongs. Devrajendra smiled. If you are bringing the tree to earth, I think there should be a really interesting reason. Shri Krishna laughed. There is. And you'll see. I don't think any of this is going to go as anybody is expecting. Well, let's see. Devrajendra smiled. He bowed to Krishna, gave the tree to Shri Krishna, and Krishna, similarly smiling, took the tree and went back to earth. He had a very special place he wanted to keep this tree. Goddess Satyabhama had asked for the tree after all, not for the Parijata flowers themselves. So he'd give her the tree, but she'd been so gracious to ask for the tree. Why give her something she didn't ask for? So he smiled. He took the tree, and before meeting the goddess Satyabhama, he did something really smart. He placed the tree in goddess Satyabhama's garden, just as she had asked for. She had the tree in her garden in her possession. But there is one small caveat here. Goddess Satyabhama's garden was on the boundary. That meant that where her garden ended, goddess Rukmini's garden started. And so Shri Krishna placed the tree in such a way that the tree was in goddess Satyabhama's garden, but each and every single one of the Parijata flowers, the most beautiful Parijata flowers, well, they had fallen goddess Rukmini's garden. The one who hadn't asked for anything like this. The one who had always devoted herself in selfless service to Shri Krishna. She got the flowers. The one who asked for the tree, well, she got the tree. She got what she asked for. And she got the way to perform the ritual. And Shri Krishna smiled. The ritual, it would take a few very interesting turns. That much he knew. And now, this being done, he went to meet goddess Satyabhama, a smile on his face. By way of greeting, he smiled at her. You asked me to bring the tree. I'm sure you heard. I brought the tree from heaven because you asked me to. Goddess Satyabhama smiled. Once again, Devashi Naran had come to her and told her much before about everything that had happened, though what Devashi Naran had said was a bit different from what had actually occurred. What he had told her was initially the truth. Shri Krishna had fought Devrajendra to get the tree, and finally, when Devamata Aditi intervened, Devrajendra was forced to give the tree. He apologized to Shri Krishna and gave the tree. This much was absolutely true. But goddess Satyabhama had asked him a very simple question. What did goddess Aditi say enough that Devrajendra could not argue and had to give back the tree, or had to give the tree? Narada Muni had paused at the question. He could have very well told the truth, but he knew why the tree was being brought down to earth. After all, he was going to play a very important part in this game that Shri Krishna was creating. And so, he thought to change the narrative a little bit. Well, he started slowly, as if contemplating. Goddess Aditi had come there, and she had looked at her son, and she had told him on one incident Goddess Satyabhama killed the demon Narakasura, the same demon that was terrorizing all of you, the same demon that had stolen my earrings, the same demon who none of you could defeat, who you all had to go to Shri Krishna to, and had to beg him for help to defeat. She defeated the demon. Her, nobody else. She defeated him. And when she wants something, you don't have the right to say no. This is what Narada Muni had said. And Satyabhama had believed it. And why would Shri Krishna correct this, despite knowing? After all, he was glad. Narada Muni was playing the spot beautifully, and his most important role in the game, it hadn't even started. But before that, he was deepening the foundation for the game. He was making it more and more and more clear by the second why Shri Krishna needed to play this very important game. This very interesting game as well. Unique also. Nobody in the world would have seen a game like this till now. In fact, one of the most important things, the major event in this game, or one of the major events, the bringing of a celestial object to Earth, had never happened. Never in the history of the universe had a celestial object that belonged to heaven been brought down to Earth. For anybody, it had been brought down. But the real question was it brought down because Goddess Satyabhama had asked for it? Or was it brought down because Goddess Satyabhama needed it to be brought down so that her arrogance could break? At the end of the day, this was a question that nobody could answer. Only one person could. Shri Krishna. He knew the answer. Hence, why his calm smile. He smiled. You know everything. I don't need to say anything to it, do I? The tree is in your garden. You can go see it if you want. I assume you'll start the ritual soon. He was a bit happy for the ritual to start. He knew how it would play out. Goddess Satyabhama looked at him and nodded. This is my victory. I'm so glad to have this flower with me. Well, the tree. Goddess Rukmini got the flower. I got the entire tree. Shri Krishna nodded. Of course, of course. Goddess Rukmini got just one flower, and you got the entire tree. That is your victory after all, nobody else's. Goddess Rukmini would know. She got all the flowers. She didn't mind for them. She had the biggest victory of them all. She had Shri Krishna's love, and she was entirely devoted to him. At the end of the day, wasn't that all that mattered? Goddess Satyabhama smiled. I'll start the ritual tomorrow. Devashi Nara told me that it's a very good time to start the ritual. And that if I started and I'm able to complete the ritual, everything will happen that the ritual has promised to give me. Shri Krishna smiled. Of course, if you complete the ritual, right? I mean, I'm sure. You're Satyabhama. You're so rich. Obviously, you will be able to complete the ritual. Obviously, you will be able to, right? Goddess Satyabhama looked at him. Of course, I would. I mean, even if nobody else in this universe can complete it, I can complete the ritual. Shri Krishna nodded. Yeah, of course. You can. Of course. Well then, I'll see you tomorrow when the ritual's about to start. Satyabhama nodded. Of course. Shri Krishna left from there, smiling to himself. The ritual was about to be a moment that Goddess Satyabhama was likely to never forget.